So here we have a game with myself and one of my buddies who's extremely versatile. It never ceases to amaze me how much he develops and grows and his willingness to play different openings so that he can learn. This is one of our games recently played. So here we have the Philidor defense where he's utilizing this pawn to protect this one, and I have two attackers. I have two attackers on this one pawn here. So he plays the knight out, surprisingly, because this knight actually blockades this light squared bishop from getting out. So what I notice immediately is that these squares are going to be weak here, these light squares. I play bishop up, attacking this f7 square, the weakest square on the board. Notice that the king itself is the only one defending that square, that f7 point there. He brings queen up, surprisingly, because now we're blockading both the dark squared bishop and the light squared bishop. I castle. So here I'm trying to get development, control of the center, king safety, and rook activity. And he's congested, and I've already castled, so we're moving. Here he's playing prophylaxis, where he's stopping me from bringing my pieces, my bishop and my knight, down onto the square. My assumption is that he's probably going to bring his knight out, and he just doesn't want to get it pinned by that bishop. That's what I'm looking at. So I bring knight out. He moves a pawn, I move a piece. I bring this knight out, and I'm preparing the knight to come here so it can launch to a centralized point, where at this point it can then jump into the opponent's defenses behind the opponent's line and be able to fight and cause chaos. So obviously the knight will attack the queen and it'll attack the pawn, but in the event that it gets to this c7 square, well, I'll get the king and I'll get the rook. He plays prophylaxisly, building this wall here, stopping me from coming forward with those pieces. I want to crack the position open, so we don't play hope chess, but I'm looking to open the position up, as well as open the position up so I can get my pieces in. But more importantly, I'm looking to stop him from getting that dark squared bishop out and keeping him congested here, where he's going to have a lot of work to do and a lot of shuffling to do to move these pieces around, just so he can get access, or at the very least get that rook into the fight. He plays knight out, so I notice that the knight is attacking the bishop, but what I'm looking to do here is I'm looking to use my queen to get pulled into the fight. So we exchange pieces. Yes, it does give him some space. Yes, he does get access. He does get to bring that light squared bishop out. But if he captures, I'm able to pull this queen into the game to a centralized location where now this queen can help radiate my attack. He captures, queen comes up, bishop comes up. Now I need to get his king to commit over here to the queen side. Notice that most of these pieces are over here on the king side of the board. And if I can get the rook over here on the king side as well and get this king by himself, it'll make things a lot easier for me. So I intentionally pull the queen back to attack that pawn. I do so. He castles. Bingo. I got the king to commit to this side of the board. So these pieces are no longer helping him. And now I can start to run my pawns directly at him. I can open up that road, that A file, that A road, so that my tank, my rook, is able to bear down on his position. I pull the bishop up. One, I want to attack that pawn. Two, I want to connect those rooks because I'm going to run that pawn here shortly, directly at the opponent's position. Now, I want to bring this bishop in because I need his king to pull further over, further away from his material that will and can help him, so that my pieces have it easier, cutting him away from his pack to make it easier. He blocks me out, so now that bishop can't get to where I wanted it to, but that's okay. We've opened up the position enough, and now it's time to play. So I run that pawn, trying to open up that road, trying to open up that tank so that he can come down. and deliver death, opening up that road so that my pieces are able to use that road to walk right into his camp. He does the same thing. So now we have an old school pawn store. He plays that pawn up to A5, or I play that pawn up to A5, and I'm looking to get in. He does the same thing. So now he's attacking my knight, and I think, thank you, because now I'm able to reposition this knight to come in to actually help me fight. And the king is just going to have to figure it out without his kingside castle guard defending him. So I move the knight out of the way. He pushes the pawn, but I think he's going to be too slow, and I'm going to be too aggressive. I move the knight out. He pulls the bishop up, finally developing that bishop, but I don't care. At this point, it's too late. The enemy is here, and I am knocking on the door, and I demand entry. So knight comes in. Please take it, because the moment that there's a crack in the position, my pieces will flow through like water. He pulls the king over, but it's too late. I push the pawn, again offering that knight and offering that pawn. Take either one, please. I dare you. They're a gift. Reach out there. He takes the bishop. I don't care about the bishop at this point. What I see is that I have the roads open. And now my tanks, my heavy pieces are able to move in on his king, on his position, while his pieces are out of the fight. So I believe that I don't need to recapture that bishop. He captures the pawn. He says, hey, I'm still here. I am a threat. Pay attention to me. So I take with the king. So notice a move before I could have taken with the rook. However, I need these rooks to stay together, to work together. And I choose to take with the king so that the king will have to defend himself against the queen. But the king is a big boy. He has to figure it out for himself. So king takes, queen comes down. Queen wants entry, but the queen does not have supporting pieces. She does not have the same backing that my queen does. My queen is ready for the fight, while his queen is being Rambo, trying to accomplish the mission by herself, but she can't. The knight comes out, but it's too late. The knight can't support his queen anymore. And my pieces are here, knocking at that door. Offering the rook, offering the pawn. Take either one. I dare you, please. He takes the rook. I replace it. Swinging that rook over. So now that I can have that road, that A file, completely to myself. He pulls back. I capture. He doesn't realize it, but he's building a wall that he can't cross. His king's not going to be able to run across here. My rook comes in, and notice the moment this rook comes down, the moment this rook leaves the back rank, his queen has mate. His queen has mate, but she'll never get there in time. King comes up, knight comes in, check. Rook comes back, check. King comes up, knight comes, takes pawn, check from the queen. Take rook, checkmate, game over. So we look at it at the end of the game and notice he has two rooks, the knight and the queen, as well as he's one move away from mate. But it's not